And we're back. We're going to talk some fantasy football. There's a lot going on in the league of Clinton Dix, and I'm going to try and fill some of the void left by part of the Flint eruption being off the air. I'm not going to have the production value or the special effects that they have over there. We're just going straight talk radio, and we're going to let the jokes stand on their own. So let's go to the phones. Scotty on the ocean.
Hey, Tom. I'm a big fan of the Clinton Dix, even bigger fan of the show. This is my first time getting through. I'm a long time listener. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, get to the point.
Yeah, all right. Do you think the league would be better if there were less teams and more good players to go around?
Absolutely not. I don't think it makes any difference at all. Every week, half the teams win and half the teams lose. If there were 4 teams or there were 50 teams, half the teams would win and half would lose, and your chances are still the same. If you have a couple more players and the other team has a couple more talented players, the games might be a little higher scoring, but you either win or you lose. So if you want to be in a league with only good players, join a work league, but I like 14. Brendan on the goat farm.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Would you say the manager of the Denver Broncos, Pepper Bottoms, is an elite manager?
No, I think that's a ridiculous question. This guy has one good year where he picks all the guys off his favorite team, and Peyton goes off to carry him in his last productive year. Brendan is the only person that thinks he's elite. Right now, I think he's right where he should be in the rankings. Kids that don't play fantasy football know that you don't take a quarterback with your first pick. He's as good of a manager as he is a football coach. He comes in on the back of a good coach, rides the wave. When somebody else is carrying him, he looks great. But then a couple years down the road, and his true colors start to show. He looks like Joe Flacco chucking up ducks. And if somebody with some talent can reel him in, then he looks great. But, all right, let's go Joe in the hospital bed.
Hey, Tom. What do you think of the big bye week Bears at the top of the league?
I think at this point, fantasy football and social media might be all this guy has. I haven't seen him drink in years. He's a big recycling phrases guy, but how far does that get you? I haven't heard anybody say fully anything since Nam. He was the high he rode after college is winding down, and that Weehaw slam dunk may have marked the end of his athletic career. If fantasy football is all he's got left, he's going to go all in on it, and we may have to get used to him up there. So, Dan, in the gym.
Hey, quick question. Do you think the sophomoric slump or bust can bounce back next year?
I don't know. He's really letting the off the field distractions get to him. He had an injury early in the season, and it's been one big party ever since. But the party has to come to an end someday. Some people never figure that out. I'd hate to see his sophomoric slump turn him into a junior joke, because by the time he becomes a senior slug, people are going to be bringing his name up to get replaced too. Let's go Kevin in California.
Hi, Tom. What do you think about the apparent disinterest of the manager of the Build a Blanket Fortes?
You play the game to win, and he's winning. Is it embarrassing to the rest of the league? Sure. This kid's more concerned about his pot plants, and nobody could beat him. But if it works, then good for him.
Tom, he doesn't even sub out his players.
Why would he sub him out? He's winning. Why would you sub out winning players? Well, why would you make substitutions to your roster if you're winning games? Jim in Groton.
The laxity stamina in the bedroom are really bumming me out this year. Do you think he'll be the new Griggs?
No, I don't think he'll be the Griggs this year. He's going to skate by on this like he does everything else, just with no effort, luck, and some good looks. Look at his college career. He didn't put the effort in to get a ring like the rest of his former team, but he got a respectable degree and made a bunch of friends. Do I think he'll ever be the winner? No, but I don't think he'll ever lose. We got Mitch in Rhode Island.
Hey, Tom. What do you think about Nicky is a bigger Tom Savage?
What do I think? Look, in Spain, they call soccer football. Will he ever throw a New Year's Eve party again? I don't know. Some people you just can't bring anywhere. I mean, this kid didn't even eat meat until he was in his 20s. If he knew how to hack and cheat in fantasy football, he definitely would. No question. But yes, in Spain, they call soccer football. We got Flynn in California.
Hey, Tom. This is my favorite show about the Clinton Dix.
All right, ask your question.
Is there any excuse for the way Shout a Little Bit Crowder now has been playing?
Hey, look, if there was an excuse, he would make it. In the beginning of the year, he was all jokes, but I guess it isn't funny anymore. Did his show get pulled? I don't know if his show got pulled, but I haven't heard anything about it recently. Maybe he ran out of excuses. I think the league is better when he's involved, but who knows? Bill in New Hampshire.
Hey Tom, I'm really feeling the Got is the gaff this year. Do you think they could win it all?
Look, I know. I think this team reeks of desperation. They can open and they can sustain interest throughout the regular season, but they can't ever seem to close. They try grabbing at it, begging for it, trying to force themselves onto it. But this is a team that has some serious trouble closing, and I think it's going to present a problem for them. We got Jake in the uniform.
Yeah. What do you think about Team Luchuk's future in this league?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. He doesn't seem to have any interest in fantasy football. He makes no effort to find bye week replacement players. He complains about having to set the draft order every year and what an inconvenience it is for him. He just wants to do whatever the rest of the group is doing. But at the same time, he's been around long enough to have earned his spot. So what are you going to do? I wouldn't want to be the guy that says he's out. I say let him hang in and drive around with the Griggs plate for the rest of his life. What do you got, Keith in Chester?
Hey Tom, who do you think is the most competitive manager in this league?
This is a pretty competitive bunch, the League of Clinton Dicks, but I'm going to have to say it's the Brian Billick's Toes. He even names his team competitively. When everybody else was bored of showing up for flag football on Sunday mornings, the most injury-prone guy in the group is still out there trying to drum up support. You know, just because he didn't find out about lifting weights until he was 25, he's out there trying to prove something. But don't tell him the time for athletic glory has passed. Steve in Boston.
Hey Tom, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about the huge Christian McCatheter guys not being in the playoffs if they started today?
I'm glad he's down there, and I think he needs to stay down there. Kid has a good job, lives in Boston, has a girlfriend who seems sane, which is something nobody in this league knows anything about. Why should fantasy football work out for him, too? I hope he has to sweat it out the last couple of weeks with the Griggs looming right over him. We got Matt in Madison.
Yeah. Who likes football the most in this league?
The Piggly Quigglies in your mouth don't just like football. They have an unhealthy obsession. He can work the Bears, fantasy football, or the story about him breaking a certain face mask in high school into almost any conversation. In the offseason, he talks about how he can't wait for football to start. In the season, he talks about how playing D3 football overqualifies him for any football-related job in the country. If there's one team whose commitment to the game can never be questioned, it's this one. So now we got Tom in East Haven.
Hey Tom, big fan. Who's the most dangerous team right now?
Without question, that team is the Pigeon Boys. When the playoff race starts, who do teams turn to besides their veteran leadership to take them to the promised land? And this team has veteran leadership. I've never seen a manager navigate the bye week so expertly. Taking Jared Goff against Got is Gaff's favorite team just to drive a spike into the heart of that upset was brilliant. And then all year he worked his way up the waiver order and then just in time grabs a tight end who's filling in for one of the best tight ends in the game, all amid trade talks all over the league of people looking for tight ends, was expert management. When this team gets hot down the stretch, look out. Here's the Mink Man.